If you're over 60 and your doctor mentioned Ozempic, there is one thing happening inside your body right now that almost nobody is warning you about. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the one simple test you can do at home to know exactly where you stand. Most people who watch this video will recognize at least 2 of the 5 warning signs I am about to share. And if you do, that information could genuinely change what happens to your body over the next 6 months. My name is Dr. Ethan Whitmore, and what I am about to share with you is not a scare tactic. This is biology, cold, documented, peer-reviewed biology, and it affects every single person over 60 who is taking this drug or thinking about taking it. I want to be clear about something before we go any further. I am not here to tell you Ozempic is bad. It is not bad. For many people, it is genuinely life-changing. What I am here to tell you is that there is a version of this drug that works beautifully, and a version that quietly causes damage. And the difference between those 2 versions comes down to information your doctor may not have given you. That is what today is about. This matters because Ozempic was never tested in people over 65 as the primary study group. That is not an opinion. That is in the FDA trial data. The original semaglutide trials skewed younger. And what happens to the body after 60 is biologically different, in ways that make certain risks much higher and much less visible on a standard checkup. That is why I am sharing this, and it is why more people your age need to hear it. Subscribe now. I put out new findings for seniors every single week, things your doctor simply does not have time to tell you in a 12-minute appointment. If you care about your health after 60, this channel was built for you. Let me start by explaining what Ozempic actually does inside your body, because most people only know half the story. Ozempic is a GLP-1 receptor agonist. That is a medical term for a drug that mimics a hormone your gut naturally produces after you eat. That hormone tells your brain you are full, it slows digestion, it lowers blood sugar, and when you are consistently less hungry, you eat less and you lose weight. Simple enough. But here is where it gets complicated for people over 60. Your body does not respond to a calorie deficit the same way it did at 40. When you are younger and you lose weight, your body pulls from fat stores reasonably efficiently. After 60, the hormonal environment changes. Testosterone drops, growth hormone drops, estrogen drops. And those hormones are the ones that signal your body to protect muscle during weight loss. Without those signals at full strength, your body becomes what researchers call muscle indiscriminate. It burns what is available, and muscle, because it is metabolically expensive to maintain, becomes a target. This is called sarcopenic obesity, and it is the silent crisis hiding inside the Ozempic weight loss numbers. The scale goes down, the doctor is pleased, but the composition of what you lost is not what either of you assumed. Imagine this. Your doctor shows you the scale. You have lost 18 pounds over 4 months. You feel like you are winning. Your doctor is smiling. Your family is proud. But here is what that number is not telling you. As many as 30 to 40% of the weight lost on GLP-1 drugs in older adults can be lean mass, meaning muscle. 6 of those 18 pounds may be muscle you cannot get back easily. And muscle loss after 60 is not just a fitness issue. It is directly linked to falls, fractures, hospitalizations, and loss of independence. A person who loses significant muscle mass after 60 is statistically far more likely to end up in a hospital within 2 years. Not because of the drug itself, but because of what happened to their body while taking it without the right support in place. And the worst part? Most people have no idea this is happening, because the scale only tells you one number, and that number feels like good news. And there is a second thing happening: your kidneys. Ozempic changes the way your kidneys filter blood and regulate fluid. For most people, especially younger people with healthy kidneys, this is actually beneficial, protective even. But here is what changes after 60. By the time you reach 65, there is a 40% chance you have some degree of reduced kidney function. Not kidney disease, not kidney failure, just a natural age-related decline in filtering efficiency that most people never know about, because it causes no symptoms and is rarely tested unless a doctor specifically orders it. When you add Ozempic to that picture, especially combined with reduced fluid intake from decreased appetite, the kidneys can come under additional strain. And for people also taking diuretics or blood pressure medication, the compounding effect can be significant. I will come back to this in detail, but first, let me give you the warning signs, because this is where the video becomes practical. Warning sign number 1. You are losing weight but feeling weaker. Not just tired, actually weaker. You notice it when you try to stand up from a low chair, when you carry shopping bags from the car, when you climb stairs and your legs feel heavier than they used to. This is not normal aging. This is not just fatigue from eating less. This is your muscle telling you it is being underfed and underused while your body is in a deficit. What to do? Tell your doctor exactly what I just said. Ask for a body composition assessment, not just a weight check, and start protein-forward eating immediately. Every meal should begin with protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, legumes, before the carbohydrates, before anything else. Warning sign number 2. Your urine is changing. This one is easy to miss because nobody talks about it. Foamy urine, urine that looks bubbly, frothy, or sudsy, and stays that way for more than 30 seconds, is a protein signal. It means protein is escaping through your kidneys into your urine, which means your kidneys are not filtering correctly. Most people think it is nothing. They assume it is just the toilet water. It is not nothing. It is one of the earliest and most reliable kidney warning signs that most doctors never mention to patients on this drug. Warning sign number 3. Nausea that does not go away. Some nausea in the first few weeks of Ozempic is completely expected. Your gut is adjusting to a new hormonal signal. But persistent nausea that continues past week 4 on a stable dose, is your body telling you something is wrong. And here is why that matters beyond just being uncomfortable. Chronic nausea leads to chronic undereating. Chronic undereating leads to chronic dehydration. And chronic dehydration in a senior on Ozempic is one of the fastest routes to kidney stress that exists. If your nausea has not improved by week 4, do not suffer through it silently. Go back to your doctor. There are solutions, dose adjustments, timing changes, anti-nausea support. You do not have to white-knuckle it. Warning sign number 4. Your protein intake has quietly collapsed. This is the most underestimated problem on this entire list. When Ozempic works as intended, your appetite drops significantly. You feel full faster. You eat less. That is the point. But what most people do not realize is that when you eat less overall, the first thing that disappears from your diet is protein, because protein-rich foods are the most filling and often the most effort to prepare. You may be getting 35 or 40 grams of protein per day and not know it. Seniors need at minimum 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day just to maintain existing muscle. For a 150-pound person, that is over 80 grams every single day. Most people on Ozempic are getting half that, and their muscle is paying the price slowly and invisibly. Track your protein for 3 days, just 3 days. Write down everything you eat and look up the protein content. Most people are shocked by what they find. Warning sign number 5. You have not had your kidney filtering score checked since starting this medication. Your kidney filtering score is a simple number your doctor can get from a basic blood test. It tells you how well your kidneys are cleaning your blood. Think of it like a grade. 100 is perfect. Anywhere above 90 is excellent. Between 60 and 90 means your kidneys are working but beginning to slow down. Below 60 means they are already under measurable stress. Here is the thing. This number declines naturally with age. By 70, many people are sitting in the 65 to 75 range without any symptoms and without any diagnosis. They feel completely fine. But put them on Ozempic, combine it with reduced fluid intake and a blood pressure drug, and that number can slide faster than anyone expected. This is not theoretical. This is showing up in clinical data. And it is why getting this number tested every 3 to 4 months while on Ozempic is not overcautious. It is basic due diligence for anyone over 60. Now, this next part is the most important section of this entire video. I almost did not include it because it is so recent and so underreported. Please do not skip this. Remember the home test I mentioned at the very beginning? We are almost there. But first you need to understand one more thing. A pattern that is just beginning to surface in the data. Seniors on Ozempic, who are also taking common blood pressure medications, specifically a class called ACE inhibitors or ARBs, may be experiencing a compounding kidney risk that neither their cardiologist nor their endocrinologist is flagging. Why? Because those two doctors are often not talking to each other. Your heart doctor manages your blood pressure. Your diabetes doctor, or GP, manages your Ozempic. And in the gap between those two conversations, a risk is quietly building. ACE inhibitors and ARBs already affect how the kidneys regulate fluid and pressure. Ozempic also affects kidney filtration and fluid retention. When both are present, especially in a senior who is eating and drinking less than usual, the kidneys can be caught between two competing signals with no clear resolution. The result in some patients has been an accelerated decline in kidney filtering scores that went undetected for months. If you are on both, please write this down and bring it to your next appointment. Ask specifically, given that I am on Ozempic and a blood pressure medication that affects kidney pressure, how often should my kidney filtering score be checked? That one question could protect you. And now, the home test. I promised you this at the beginning, and here it is. Step 1. First thing tomorrow morning, before coffee, before breakfast, fill a clear drinking glass with urine. Look at it directly in natural light. If you see foam or bubbles that persist for more than 30 seconds without settling, that is a protein signal. Healthy kidneys keep protein inside the bloodstream where it belongs. If protein is escaping into your urine, it shows up as foam. This is not a diagnosis, but it is a reason to call your doctor this week and ask for a kidney blood test. Step 2. The sit-to-stand test. Find a chair with no armrests. A dining chair works perfectly. Sit all the way back in the seat. Cross your arms over your chest. Set a 30-second timer on your phone. When the timer starts, stand up fully and sit back down as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Count every complete stand. If you complete fewer than 8, that is a recognized clinical threshold for muscle weakness in older adults. It does not mean something is catastrophically wrong, but it means muscle loss may already be occurring, and it needs to be addressed with your doctor now, not at your next annual checkup. Step 3. At your very next doctor's appointment, whether that is next week or next month, ask for 3 specific numbers. Number 1, your kidney filtering score. Number 2, your creatinine level. And number 3, your albumin. Albumin is a protein your liver makes. Low albumin means your body is not holding onto protein properly, which is directly connected to both muscle loss and kidney stress. Write those 3 words down right now. Kidney filtering score, creatinine, albumin. Those 3 numbers together will tell you and your doctor more about how your body is handling Ozempic than almost any other test available. If your doctor asks why you want those numbers, and some will, tell them you read research suggesting that seniors on GLP-1 medications benefit from more frequent kidney monitoring, because that is exactly what the emerging data says. Now let me tell you what to do if your numbers come back concerning, because I do not want to leave you with information and no next step. If your kidney filtering score has dropped more than 15 points since starting Ozempic, ask your doctor about adjusting your dose or pausing the medication temporarily while your kidneys are supported. Do not stop the medication without medical guidance, but do not ignore the number either. If your sit-to-stand score is below 8, ask for a referral to a physical therapist or a certified personal trainer who works with seniors. Add resistance training twice a week minimum. Even bodyweight exercises, sit-to-stands, wall push-ups, step-ups, done consistently, will begin to rebuild and protect muscle within 8 to 12 weeks. This is not optional. This is medicine. If your protein intake is below 60 grams per day, consider a protein supplement. A simple whey or plant-based protein shake once a day can close that gap without requiring a large appetite. 1 scoop of a quality protein powder typically contains 20 to 25 grams. That alone can shift your daily total significantly. Here is the good news. And I want to end on this because I believe it deeply. Your body after 60 is more resilient than our medical culture gives it credit for. The research is clear. Seniors who combine GLP-1 medications with adequate protein, resistance exercise, and regular kidney monitoring do not just lose weight. They lose fat, preserve muscle, protect their kidneys, and come out of the process genuinely stronger and more independent than when they started. The drug is not the enemy. Ignorance of what the drug needs to work safely, that is what causes harm. And you now have that information. You are no longer in the dark. If this video surprised you, I posted a video last month about what happens to your kidneys specifically when you combine common blood pressure medication with any GLP-1 drug. The findings in that video genuinely shocked my regular viewers. I will put it right here for you. If you are serious about your health after 60, subscribe and turn on notifications. I post findings every single week that most people your age never hear from their doctor. Not because the information does not exist, but because the system does not have time to deliver it to you the way you deserve. And tell me in the comments below, which of these 5 warning signs have you personally noticed since starting Ozempic or since someone you love started taking it? I read every single comment. Your experience matters, and it helps other people in this community know they are not alone. See you in the next one.